coming at y'all with a brand new video, family. And in today's video, I'm gonna be myself, and so shall you on the camera, because remember, that's all we came down here to do is to be someone that's not necessarily misunderstood, but you will be misunderstood if you carry yourself with high prestige, or you walk in you walk in rooms like you fucking own them, And you might ask me, or you might ask yourself, what does that mean? All that means is that you're not trying to be like no one else, or you're not trying to fit in. You know what I'm saying, y'all? The goal is to do what makes you feel good, because that's what's gonna make you vibe high, right, y'all? That's the goal. Now you might ask me like, damn, why don't you cut your hair, or why is it so long? Because my hair is an antenna. It's a reflection of myself. So just having long hair, y'all, is helping me tap into frequencies around me, or giving me knowledge that I might not have, because when you have no hair, or your follicles are short, y'all, well, guess what? You could become easily seduced, or in a way seducted, to where you're not all the way there, because your mind, if you want to say, it's not really perceiving your surroundings, man, because you don't have, like I say, just think about it like this: when you get scared or you feel like something ain't right, your hair will stand up on your skin, because that's that gut feeling you have. When you have hella hair, y'all, you get that same feeling, but you're even more tapped in, because, like they say, family, it's literally a reflection of you, or who you become whenever you're on this journey, y'all. So I just want y'all to be aware, family. But this video, y'all, is gonna be different. I came on this camera to let y'all know that I had took a break, family, because I got like I say, things happen in my life, man, just like things happen in your life. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's more so, shit happens, with a snap, man, or you just never know what's gonna happen, man. That's why I say, family, if you love someone, man, you better tell them you love them now. If they like that or not, they will remember you, man. But you want to tell them something that's gonna uplift them, because remember, we came down here to heal and uplift souls, man, not fish for them like the ones above. That's why they show you that DreamWorks commercial, man, because they're literally laughing that they have your ass by the chain, or by the fucking, they have you always in a chokehold like this, right? And you're like this. But that's why I say, family, this video is necessarily about your blessing, man. For whoever's watching this video right now, man, I want you to know that your blessing is near. It's near, man. All you have to do is keep going, man. Like I said, if you're working jobs, or you're a public speaker, a motivational content creator, or you're just someone that makes clothes, you sell shoes, all you have to do, my boy, or my ladies out there, just keep working, man. Stay vigilant, stay hard working, and don't stop for nothing, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, in this world, not everybody wants to see you winning. So that's what should give you the confidence to even pursue it even more, because if people ain't rooting for you, y'all, well, they're still inspired by you, y'all, because they can't keep their hands or their fingers around you, man. And that's just someone who has found limitless potential. You know what I'm saying, family? But I come at y'all in a different video, because it's not always good to feel like you are stuck like everybody else. And for the people who like these videos, man, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I want y'all to be aware of y'all surroundings, man, because it could become crucial out here, or it might get to you if you let it, family. And in this video, just know that you will become someone that people adore, but from afar. And I say that because they can't meet you, or they can't get in your presence without it irritating their ass, man. Because let's just say someone like myself, has been practicing straight purity, which is never letting go of what the fuck God has dropped me. Well, then guess what? You don't think all that energy's not gonna rise up, y'all? Just look at me. My skin's glowing. My hair is glowing. You know what I'm saying, y'all? But I like to point that out, because just say you lack this or you have it. Well, then you know what I'm talking about, because you go through it as you walk in those shoes, man. So it's important to Hold up, family. It's important to realize that, you know, you came down here to change the world, not to be of the world, man. So you must realize the people around you, yo, that are stuck or they are lost or they feel like they are doing things that ain't serving no value. Well, then you must realize that shit should put terror or fear in your ass, man. Like if you got spooked because they ain't doing shit, but they're lost or they might not even be aware of their own power. So, you know, everybody has to like I say, wake up or focus on their own timing. But if you are there or around them, man, where you're sparking curiosity in their brains, man, or you're causing them to dysfunction in a way because your energy that you carry, y'all, it triggers, like I say, people's problems or just the shit they go through because not everybody is like you, you know? Your frequency is either gonna pull in or push them away because once you have so much energy, y'all, you start heating up the room around you, man. And most people can't take that fucking heat, man, because, you know, they can't even take the sunlight. And you are a children of the sun. So what makes you think that if you have hella energy within your avatar, what makes you think that they can step foot or get around you? They can't, man. And that's why, you know, you see these Egyptian, you know, or let's just talk about these pantheons real quick. It don't matter, but this is just to show you what the fuck we're living in and what once was. So they will talk about how these Egyptians, y'all, cause remember, they didn't really eat food or you know, they didn't survive off of the shit we have now with all this fucking, you know, via, you know, electronics or just bullshit around them. They lived outside, they didn't have phones, and all they did was use everything that came from the sun and everything that was around them, which was the materials, you know, and just learning how to use this right here, man. Because if you can't use your mind, man, well, like I say, it can be hijacked by anything or anyone. So just remember this, family. They will talk about how certain, you know, deities or Egyptians, you know, they couldn't be, if you want to say, they couldn't get around them in a way, or they would have such high pedestal, which is, you know, royalty or a high rarity, because, you know, once you go within or once you take care of yourself on that kind of level, y'all, well, not everybody's on that type of frequency. So you end up pushing their ass away, or they simply can't get near you, man, because, like I say, you become too hot, or, you know, your frequency is, you know, detracting them. Instead of attracting them, it's detracting them because they can't get around what the fuck they can't perceive, you know? And that's why I say, family, don't ever feel bad if you know you lose people on this journey. It's not a bad thing. It's just it reminds you that you are living in what the fuck I'm preaching, or you know, you see it to be, because it's not that they don't fuck with you. Yes, they love you. They fuck with you heavy, but you're a different breed now. You're not the same person you used to be because you take action on your life, man. You're not worrying about the small things, or you're just, you know, so focused on trying to make it, man, in this life. Because I'm trying to tell y'all, family, everybody wants to win, but they don't want to take action, or they are waiting for somebody to give it to their ass. But I bring you this video because for the people like me who walk in my shoes, man, who know what it feels like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. But the only thing that can cause you to become diluted or to become stagnant is if problems around you start to get to you, man. But I like to bring it up because you might be asking me, where have you been? You know, and I haven't been nowhere, y'all. I just been, you know, chilling, you know, embracing the time I have with my family. Walking can do that because everything in this life is temporary, man. You are, I am, the things you have, you know. So you should really focus, man, and not take shit for granted, man, because why would you take everything for granted, y'all, when, you know, one day everything's gonna, if you want to say, disintegrate, or it's gonna, you know, decompose, because life is simply what it is, and that's something you cannot change but simply fulfill. And it's not a bad thing, yo, when you rise or when you have that energy. It's just you gotta learn the law of attraction, because if this shit happens in front of your face, man, you lack the knowledge, man, you might, you know, start feeling like, what the fuck, or you know, you just might feel like why do all these dudes or why does everybody look at me and they envy me or they jealous me? It's because they see something in you that they don't have, man, and they deep inside want to be your friend. They really do, y'all. It's just they can't, because they gonna fit in on with the crowd, man. And when the crowd talks about you, so will they. But deep down inside, they know that, damn, I want to be like that motherfucker. Or I wish I had his confidence, because it's not that you can't get it, y'all. It's just some people don't, like I said, take time to work on themselves, man. And it becomes a problem when you try to take control of anybody or someone else when you don't even have awareness of your damn self, man. Because that's what it was always, man. You think I would go fuck with a random girl, or you think I'm just gonna go to anybody and try to holler? Hell no, because I know my rarity. I know that I'm pedestals above your capacity that you might, be thinking of, man. So I'm only gonna go after the things I see or I feel is right within my soul, man, because you start living out of your soul once you have this energy, man. You don't, you have an ego, but it ain't controlling you, because to be a true oneness or a divine being, y'all, you're gonna use everything you have within your arsenal as one, man. So you're not gonna go against your lower nature, man. You're gonna use that to help you protect yourself, man, or just getting around in the ways of this world. Because like I tell y'all, family, it's only up to you. If you want to win, you gotta make that change, man. You gotta want to win, because that's all we came down here to do, is to act. Emotions, they can bind your soul, but they can guide your soul too, if you know how to use everything, But if you're seeing this video, man, just know that God's preparing a change for you, man. Or everything you have wanted, like I said, it will fall into your hands in divine timing. So don't rush nothing, man. Just live. I don't want to say attract, but be. You know what I'm saying? Everything you need is where it's supposed to be. All you gotta do is stay calm, act with action, and just live like you are feeling good, because when you live good, you look good. When you look good, you attract good. And that's the meaning of life, family. Nowadays, most people in this world, they're not really acting on who they want to be, because they gotta fit in with the rest, or they just stuck and they lack the knowledge, man. And that's not a bad thing, but it can cause you to become slow, or it makes you feel like you're invisible because you ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say I ain't making videos, y'all, but I'm self-sufficient. I want y'all to watch this video and look at me like maybe like a teacher, but not really a teacher, but just a guider, just someone who guiding you, man. Because I was always self-sufficient, man. I don't need nobody, but I choose to have you if that's something I like to proceed with. I proceed with caution, but I would, like I said, take a chance if I see that everything's on good terms. But just hear me out, y'all. If you are self-sufficient like myself, well, you're gonna get to everything that you need to get before you take action, which could be, getting your financial status up. Because think about it, y'all. If you can't take care of yourself, well, you can't take care of nobody. So that should be your first priority. But always know that what's truly first is going within and healing your heart, man, healing your soul, man, and living through that, because that's true confidence right there. No one can knock that, but they might not like that because they can't comprehend what the fuck it is, or why the fuck it is something that you have and not them, because unlike them, you took time to figure out who you are in that darkness, man. And all you want to do is help these souls, or help the ones that come for aid, man, so they can rise. And all rising gets is taking your life back by the shoulder, man, and just taking that cape off and wearing it, because that's what you came down here to do, family. You didn't come down here to be entertained. Entertainment means to feel binded or to be controlled by something or someone. You came down here to create. Creating and binding is two different things, man. So just remember, family, if you ever feel down, or you feel like, damn, I want to look up to him, or act like him in a way, well, all you gotta do, y'all, it starts with what God has given your body, man. That seminal fluid, man. You must let it rise from your lowest, which is, your butt cheeks or your buttocks, and it must rise all the way up like the snake to your head, man. But I want y'all to, before I get any further, man, I want y'all to take that in and just think about that shit, man. You might not fully be able to grasp the concept or get what I'm saying, because it takes energy to feel something, man. Because now I'm living out of my etheric bodies, man. Yeah, you see the physical form, but these auras that withhold me and everything around me is what's really giving me that heaven-like experience, man. Because now I'm living like how God is telling y'all to live, man, which is out of purity, out of peace, and not that other bullshit y'all be feeding into most of the times. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing if you have some days where it ain't always going good, because I tell y'all, family, it's duality in all things, always duality. So never feel like you gotta rise too high and never feel low, because you will have your days. But I'm just here to remind you of why it's important to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we feel, but you must transform that into power, which is on action. Because who can defy that? Nobody. The only person that will look at you and give you that applause is God, man, or the ones you call your ancestors, because they're like, this motherfucker still won't stop. How do you do it? What is your method? Who told you this? That's what they're gonna question. But to be real, y'all, all it is knowing you, man, and really focusing on thyself, man. That's all it starts with, y'all. You don't need a guru, you don't need a book, you don't need me. All you need is your fucking self. But you gotta have the mind of knowing that even if they look at me like I'm crazy or I'm a psycho or I'm a lunatic, well, guess what? I'm still acting and I'm still being preached and I'm loved by many, man. It's just that in this world, y'all, it's hard to adapt or really feel like someone else when they ain't feeling like how you feel, because they can't reciprocate that energy to you, man. You know what I'm saying, family? So that's why I say it is important to just push out these videos, even if you make them, because somebody will take that and use that, not for you, but for their self, experience, man, and just the trials and tribulations they go through, man. Because if I'm telling y'all, you just want to help people, well, why not help them while you're here? Because when you're not, they're gonna say what you did or what you didn't do, regardless, man. But I don't do this for nobody. I do this for my ancestors, and I do this for the ones who have transcended the realm without me. Because without what I'm doing, because I know that God is real. I know that my ancestors are watching over me. I know that the ones that maybe not fuck with me, but the ones that do fuck with me wanted me to push this bitch out. So I have to, because I feel good just making this video. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to help people, man. You want to help them, not degrade them or make them feel like they are less than. No. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say, man. If you love your girl or you have a girl, treat her right, man. Make sure she ain't lacking. Not saying material wise, but make sure she don't feel like you ain't giving her what she deserves, man. Which is the right treatment, man. You must treat a girl right, even if she dogs your ass or leaves you to the side. You don't kiss their ass, but what you want to do is you want to help them, in a way to where you feel you want to make them feel like they are, someone who matters. And if that's not what you're doing, well, then you really don't know how to act like a king, man. Because a king is gonna always give you positive energy, because peace is positivity, which always creates elevation. Remember that. Peace, which is positivity, always creates elevation. And all you want to do is just be yourself, man. Because somebody's gonna feel inspired by that, man. And it's gonna force them to act out on what the fuck they really want to be, because that's the energy they get when they're around your ass all day. You know what I'm saying, y'all? So if you have heard this gem, and I just want y'all to feel like, because y'all taking advice from people that are telling y'all to never chase women. There's a difference when chasing and pursuing them in a way to where you feel like you ain't lacking. Because let's just say you feel like myself, man. Well, you're not really gonna take it to the heart, but you're just gonna look at it like damn, it is what it is. I gotta just keep rising. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't help them, well, they don't want to be saved. They want to be, solo, or they want to rock their world their way. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing too, because you came down here to inspire people, not, like I say, degrade them. So if you feel bad or you feel down or you're on this camera like, damn, I can't get over something or someone, just remind yourself and just look at me, yo, because I've been through it all, you know what I'm saying? But I still stand like a warrior or a knight, a nice soldier, man, because their actions, I know I can't control, you know what I'm saying? So only thing I could do is be myself and stay true to what I know, because regardless, y'all, like I say, someone or somebody out there looks up to you, man. Whether they want to say it or not, they're inspired by you regardless, because you're not like no one else. Who the fuck else is doing this? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, family. It's better to be inspired and still be hated, because even God was, hated by the Romans. He was hated by the Romans for preaching the shit I'm telling y'all, man. And that's why, they didn't want him here, because once more and more people started finding out about who he was, man, they started following his teachings, man. And that's change, man. People don't want change. Tupac said that shit so many times, man. If y'all ain't heard the song Changes, man, I suggest y'all to go do your research, man, because that's all about helping each other, man. And that's what I came down here to do. I came down here to help as many people as I can. Whether you help or you don't help me, that's you. But I'm just here to remind you of the battlefield and of your power, man, because in this world warfare we're simply existing in, it can be hell for most individuals, man. If all they do is they worry about others, or they lack, or they feel like they don't have anything to live for. But let me tell you something right now, family. You have everything to live for, man, because everything around you is you. You must be still, you must be calm, and you must know that God has a bigger plan for you. Trust me on that. God didn't put you here to fail if you're someone that is no longer a failure, man. He just wants to test you, wants to make sure you're going to get it done, man. Because if you get it done, yo, guess what? You fulfilled your purpose, man. I came down here to live through purpose, not through pleasure or through simple, whatever you want to call it. Because everybody has their own problems and they look at life differently. But if you watch me, man, I just want you to know that, whoever's over on the other side of this camera, man, I believe in you with the heart, man, because I believed in myself, man. That's why I'm here today, But just know this, though, family. You came down here to inspire everybody, regardless, whether they want to or not. And that's why, as a chosen one, you get stepped over or they step above you, because you're someone that can't be, you cannot be in a box to where they label you and they ship you off. You know what I'm saying? You're just too much to handle, man. Or people, they can't get around you, because like I say, your body's it's a high in frequency. So you push them away with that heat that your body is literally, if you want to say the secretions and everything your body withholds, man. As soon as, you step out or around others who ain't on your frequency, y'all, it's low-key burning their asses, man, or making them feel like fuck, I gotta get away from them, because your body is a weapon, man. And that's why they created the World War II bomb with your bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? But this is to remind you of how powerful the mechanism you walk in. You don't have to believe me, but I do research after, research, because that's what I love to do. I love to study. I love to work on things. I'm a true scientist. But to really get what I'm saying, y'all, is to know that it takes time. Don't rush nothing. Live right here, and don't live like you have it. Yes, you want to see that you have it, but you don't want to act like you have it, because you'll never get it if you ain't walking in what you're doing now. Family? But this was a good download, man. I hope y'all really learned something from this. This was a really good download, man. It's just, as a true chosen one, man, you will gain a lot of attraction, man, whether you want that shit or not. Or you're going to gain a lot of people who just seem like they don't fuck with you, but they are inspired by you low-key. And that is only because, as you rise, man, God shows you that you can't be around everybody, man. Because not everybody's acting like how you are. There's no disrespect or no love lost. It's just simple reality, man. And that's why I give you this download, man. Simply the way he said it, man. And literally, so all you want to do is be yourself, man. You know, if you could be yourself in this world, man, well, guess what? You're fulfilling what God has given your body, man, which is freedom. Cause you can act out on who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? If your ass is a killer, or you're someone who once chased women your whole life, man, well, God ain't gonna ever give you anything because you're needy. You know, you're someone that feels like you can't do shit without someone, and that's why you won't ever have nothing. But if you could just stand and live through purpose, man, well, trust me, what is for you will happen in divine timing. But I'm just gonna tell you this before I get off this camera, man. You know, to have a glow and to really get what I'm saying, y'all, is to start with your energy, man. That's all you gotta do. Just save onto your energy, man. Don't be disobedient, man, unless you don't give a fuck, man. And if you don't, well, guess what? That's why nobody gives a fuck about you. But remember, I care about you whether you are at your highest or whether you are at your lowest. Not because I'm looking at you like I'm better, but I'm just here to help you. I'm a healer. I'm a guider. And I'm someone that's gonna use these fucking pliers, and I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna take them hoes off your neck, man. Because it's not right that I feel good and most people out here are suffering, or they feel like they don't know shit. When really you have the power, because you are the key holder. You are the gemstone. You are the diamond in the rough. But as long as you feel good like myself, man, you have the ability to act, man. And that's what's going to give you everything you ever wanted, man, because action creates your reality, man. Whether it's bad energy you're putting out, or whether it's good energy you're putting out. But just know one thing that I'd like to remind y'all. Never give up, man. Never give up. Because if you give up, well, then the people that look up to you, you have failed them, man. And why think like, and why do that if you know you made this channel for others, or you know you are doing something to inspire people, man? Because that's the whole point of life, man. You live, create, and enjoy. But once you realize that everything around you is you, because they're in a body like you, they have a heart like you, and they're still physical, that's when you know that, damn, I gotta help as many people as I can, because my time here is temporary. I'm not gonna live forever, and I don't want to live forever. But I'm just telling you right now, while I'm here, I'm gonna help you in any way I can, because my soul knows who your soul is, man. Because I'm not living through the ego. I have the ego, but it's like Kurama, man. In a cage, it's locked there. And I act out on purity, man. But if a motherfucker was to cross me, or trying to pull up on me, or trying to attack me in self-defense of my life, man, I'm gonna beat your ass, or I'm gonna protect myself in a way to where you can't get to me, because that's when karma or your ego is supposed to come out, you know, and defend you. But I give y'all this down though, man, as, you know, D, your boy, the rawest, you know, one out here, man, because the goal is not to be like everyone, but to inspire in your own way, family. And if you can do that, well, like I said, you have fulfilled your purpose, man. And everything will be laid out for you. Only if you know that there's people counting on you, waiting for you to take action, man, because there's people who need this content, you know, because it uplifts them and it motivates them to build discipline. And discipline is what's gonna get you out that fucking door to where you ain't like everybody. You know what I'm saying, y'all? And if you can be that, well, congratulations, man. You have just defeated the Matrix, man. You are no longer, you know, you are no longer of it, but in it. Because it's something that you must partake in, but your mind is over your fucking body, man. Because you vibrate too high, man. Remember, high frequency is positive vibes, but there's always a pro and a con to everything. Or, like I said, cause and effect, you know? It's just, you don't become that in simple manner, man. Everything takes time. You must build up yourself, you know? You must let your aura, you know, expand. So, you know, how you feel everybody around you can feel that. And that's why, you know, most people either love being around you or they don't, because you spark change, or you create, you know, you cause their ego to, it's like you're uppercutting that fucking ego they have, because you're sparking curiosity into why the fuck they not like you, or why are you being yourself into like a way to where they feel like, you know, it intimidates them, you know. But, you know, I just want y'all to be aware, man, so you don't become someone that ain't shit, man. Remember that. So in this video I give y'all, this is all about the rise, man. I love y'all, family. 100.